Hello.
And
Good morning.
Good morning. Good
Happy
morning.
Saturday.
Happy Saturday. And so, welcome to the Educator Spotlight with Tiffany and Dr. P. Our partnership is built on empowering minds, inspiring futures, and supporting educators today.
we are highlighting and paving the way for difference makers. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning again. So, we have a very special guest with us today, Miss Erika Gibbs-Parker. And we're very glad that she's able to join us along with some of her um, church members and
And
fellow
daughter.
supporters. And we're so glad that she invited them and they're on the call with us as well. So we're going to just start our session like we always do, wanting to know more about your educational journey and your story.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Is that my cue?
Sure, cute. Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry.
No, you're
Well,
Yes,
good.
first
go
of
ahead.
all, first and foremost, thank you again for for the invite and this country girl from Alabama and I believe that my four pillars of life are faith, family, fitness, and finances, right? I'm a mom of a blended family of nine, with the youngest three being at home. And one of them, my daughter Brooklyn, she's 17, she's on with us. And she's 17, and then we have an 8-year old and a 6-year-old. My husband is a pastor here in the Birmingham area, and we recently celebrated our 13 years old in marriage.
Oh,
And I've been an educator for, thank you, I've been an educator for 22 years. It's surreal, y'all, and especially coming up on retirement, doesn't seem like it's been that long. With my first 21 years, I have been in the classroom. I was like, I'm not leaving the classroom. I don't want administration. I don't want any of that. I'll be a teacher leader. Okay. But I felt God tugging me in different directions. So I did. Prayed about it, and I finally made the decision to come out of the classroom to be a math coach. So this is my first year out of the classroom. So I'm kind of homesick, but I'm excited about learning new skills, new leadership skills, how to work more so with adults. And so I'm shifting from pedagogy to, I think they call it andragogy, where you're
oh,
working with
adult.
adults. And I had never heard of that word.
I agree
So
with you. Yes,
you're right.
ma'am. Amen.
Right. So I'm excited about it. Um, so like I said, I'm now a math coach for my district. And so my supervisor, she was very supportive of my coming out of the classroom. So I basically partner with teachers, because some teachers kind of have that clout, like, oh, you're here to evaluate me, and I try to, like, no. I
Mm.
am not here to evaluate you. I'm here to partner with you to come up with strategies, discuss strategies, to implement strategies that will promote growth for the student and the teacher.
Right.
um I'm also a certified wellness coach with a program called Sisters for Self-Care. And I help educators and others, but I have a niche with educators. Because sometimes we do put ourselves on the back burner.
Mhm.
But I help educators and others take control of their health. I help them reduce their toxic exposure, and if they choose, I also help them to create that plan B retirement. I help them with that as well. So that has been a blessing to me and my family. And that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I do have my own tutoring service. So I do some tutoring, some math tutoring on the side as well. So I spin several plates.
Yes, yes, you're a busy lady. Busy lady.
I can
Busy
tell
in a
from all
great
your
way.
introductions.
Yeah, busy in a great way. I was just sitting here thinking about Dr. P and I were just talking a little earlier about self-care and our guest last week. talked about it, and then you bring it back up. So it is so important. So
It
glad to hear that
is.
that's an extension of something that you do as well. And that we would love to look more into that as well. So,
Absolutely.
so Dr. P, did you have anything you wanted to add before we move into some other of our talk? And please, if you are on the line as a support and you want to jump in and say something that you know,
Yeah, this is,
Ms.
mhm.
Parker, please go ahead and feel free to unmute and join us.
Well, you have a lot to celebrate. You just mentioned about your marriage anniversary, you being a new math coach, and you are doing tutoring. How did you do all those things?
I
We only
know.
you are
It can
a
be a
super woman.
struggle.
A superwoman, but I think as a women ourselves, we empower women and you empower women, so that's really great too. It's an inspiration right there already before you even present what I don't even know what you were trying to present, but you are already an inspiration because you have shared a lot of things already that most women will probably do. How did she do that? Yeah, how did
Yeah.
you? Because you have a lot of things going on with you, but time management probably is.
Yes, yes. I'm
It-
not the master at that. I'm still learning, but and that's been like a thorn in the flesh. But I manage, and thank God for a great support system. Here at
Correct.
home, my
Yeah.
husband, he's amazing. He does a lot of the background work. So
Mhm. Well,
Wonderful.
one thing that I thought about that resonated with me is when you stated that you are a coach and you want to partner with teachers instead of evaluate. And I know I can speak from my experience, and I'm sure Dr. P can as well, because I've been an administrator and I've been a teacher. And
okay.
sometimes we know that teachers tend to think of us as administrators as just being that evaluative person and not being that support person. And you do have to learn to balance that, to let them know that they can trust you, that you're being authentic, and that you're really just wanting them to grow because it's going to help grow students. So in
Right.
that case, how have you developed the trust with the teachers to know that you're truly there to support them to be better?
Well, Tiffany, like I said, this is my first year. And I'm not even, I mean, we just scratching the surface. Like I'm like super green, but I have learned a lot, and thank God for the support system that Jefferson County has for math coaches. And they tell us, because I, to be honest and transparent, I had a math coach last year, and it was not a great experience. So I think, God allowed that so I can know what a math coach is not to
Not
do.
to do.
Correct. Yes, yes. Mhm.
And so, so it's like I said, it's not, I'm coming in, I'm not a fixer,
Mhm.
and so I'm coming in to partner. And so things that I've done to just show that, hey, what would you like for me to help you with? Is there an area that I give them the voice?
Right.
And once I get to it, I'm actually doing, like, I asked them, I did a little survey, and I asked them, what are some of your favorite snacks? I know we teachers may not be a
Oh,
good
I
thing,
love that.
but we love
Yeah.
snacks.
Love food.
Correct. Correct.
We
Yes.
love food. And so, maybe, I'm putting like a little packet together. So my plan is to go in with this Monday. So just to, some of their little favorite snacks. So just,
Oh,
and I let them know, hey, because we met with the principal and the math teachers and me, and I let them know, hey, y'all, I remember I just came out of the classroom. So I'm just here to help, in just a larger capacity. I still love students. If you need me to come in and teach a lesson, if you need me to come in to model a lesson, or whatever, just to be an extra pair of hands
mhm.
in the classroom. So those are some things that I've done just to, from my knowledge so far. And just to let them know, hey, this is not evaluative. I like that the district told us, don't go in there with a notepad, don't go in there with no sticky notes to putting yeah, don't do that, Erica, because lady from last year not go to these meetings because she did the opposite of what I'm being taught, not to do. That's what she did. I mean,
Uh-huh.
like, had a whole evaluation form,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So no forms.
Uh-huh.
I'm just here to be an extra pair of hands.
Right. And so you just jump in and do whatever you see needs to be done what right in the moment in real
Exactly.
time. Okay. Love that approach. It's a great
Yes.
So
approach.
who are you servicing? You're a math coach for the district. So what grade levels are you providing support?
So right now I'm assigned to actually Alabama is providing it's a state job. So the state that provides math coaches for middle school. So I'm at a middle school.
Okay.
Okay.
So sixth, seventh, and eighth grade.
Mm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. And I liked how you stated too, and it's not to belittle or, make it seem like we're saying something against another educator, but
Right,
I
right,
truly,
right.
Mhm.
and Dr. P, I know that's been in my experiences as well, is that I've been taught what not to do. I've been looking for a mentor to teach me what I need to do so I feel like, I can do the best job possible. But just in my experiences, that's what I was taught, what not to do. And that a lot of times that what not to do does help us to become better because
Yes.
we know what we did not necessarily get when we were in the position of someone wanting us needing a mentor to assist us. So I
Hmm.
love how you stated that. So
Hmm.
tell us a little bit about your self-care for your wellness and what you do with teachers with that. I know you said other ladies can join as well, but how
Hmm.
do you specifically target your teachers?
Just Tiffany, through my journey. I share what I've done with my journey. At the height of the pandemic, my weight and my vitals, they were all out of whack. And after having my fifth child, it was like, okay, Erica, blood pressure, cholesterol, the weight, all of that was spiraling out of control. And knowing that I have a family history of that, I was like, okay, Erica, get a hold of yourself.
Mhm.
And so I started this wellness program, which is basically is total wellness from the head to the toe. And
Okay.
so but I was mostly focused on, my physical wellness on the inside,
Mm.
and then we work our way outside. But I did do that program. I purchased some natural products for my health and for my household. And so I've released 50 pounds.
Oh,
My
wow.
blood pressure is under control.
Mhm.
And when I went back and looked at some of my pictures, y'all, it was like inflammation just all in my face. And I was like, and I didn't see that. And
Mhm.
so, and I have a pretty full face now, but I mean, it was, it was puffy. I was like, oh my goodness, looked
Mhm.
like the Pillsbury Doughboy. And so, and I mean, it's been amazing. And self-care doesn't always have to be related to, to weight. It's just taking time for yourself. Just go get that manicure, go get that pedicure, just sometimes just go sit at, the coffee shop and have a cup of coffee by yourself.
Mhm.
And so just taking time out for self with no pressures from, noise from anything else, just taking time out for self. And my wellness coach, she said self-care isn't selfish, but sometimes it can be a little bit, but in a good way.
Right.
In a good way. It can be
Right.
selfish in a good way. Not that you're putting anybody else down as far as selfish, but
Mhm.
you just have to take time out for self. And that was, a pivotal moment for me. And then of course, just reducing my toxic exposure and my families. We've got cleaner, greener products in our home, as that, as well. So yeah,
Mhm.
and I enjoy that.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Hmm.
So, Dr.
So
P, were
how often do you do self-care? Because like I remember, every time we meet with the administrators in my school, the first thing we always ask is what's your self-care? So is it like on a
Hmm.
weekly basis? And I know it may sound selfish, like mostly it's women who will do self-care, but do we hear from men as well if they do self-care themselves? So that's something that we have to find out.
Yes, yes. I try to do something daily, Dr. P, even if it's just going for a mile walk and just,
Oh,
listening to some inspirational music or listen to my scriptures. I try to do something, like I said, once a day, even if it's just, sometimes I may get to the gym. If I can't get to the gym, I try to at least get that mile walk in and just, 20, 30 minutes, just me soaking up the sun and just relax, release, and all the good stuff. So I may not be able to get to the nail shop all the time. I do want to do more spa treatments, but that we have to work that in the budget. But
oh,
absolutely, I try to do something daily if it's just, you know, um, getting up earlier. Sometimes I don't get that done every day, but my goal is to, just have that meditation time in the mornings,
Mm-hmm.
so absolutely.
Very important.
Hmm.
Okay, so if you had one piece of advice to share with our listeners, and we know most of those listeners are going to be educators, what would be a piece of advice that you would share?
My advice would be to, I mean, never ever give up on your goals. And like I said, this is this is self-taught for me too.
yeah.
Because and then never let and I heard I think her name is Mel Robbins say this. She said, and I wrote it down. She said, "Don't let your mood determine your movement."
Oh,
Because when you move, your mood will change. And
yes.
Mm.
y'all, I'm telling you that if that is not true, I don't know what is, because I've been in the mindset like, oh my goodness, I don't feel like going for this walk. I'm so tired. I don't feel like going to the gym or whatever. But once I get there, like, ooh,
Yeah.
but and not just, working out. It could be with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you set your goal to do, start that business,
Mm-hmm.
write a book,
Mm-hmm.
live a healthier lifestyle. Just do it. Do it scared.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If it's changing your career, just do it, because when you move, your mood will change. So, and definitely, making time out for self-care. Definitely doing that. Having a strong why is
Yes.
important when life be lifing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's important to have a strong why, um and hold on to it. And it takes a growth mindset.
Yes.
It takes a growth mindset to do this thing called life. And so we just definitely have to, focus on all aspects of the wellness wheel. And I've seen different ones, emotional health, your inner health, your spiritual health, your financial health. Because if those
Mm-hmm.
coins not adding up, sometimes they can, that
That's
can
right.
cause stress.
Yes.
So definitely, having not, it's a balancing act. Not that everything is always going to be balanced at the same time, but it's just a balancing act, and just, I try not to have a mindset of worrying about things. I know sometimes, that can be easier said than done, but I've always had have worked towards having a strong prayer life, but just not worrying, just not worrying about those things. Just, so y'all know I'm a woman of faith, so I have to
Yeah.
talk
Oh,
about the
yeah.
prayer. So
Yes. So are we. So
I have,
Absolutely. Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
good,
yes,
good.
you're in great company. Yes, we
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't apologize. I just speak
Oh
what I,
no. That's
but
right. That's right.
having a strong prayer life, it does help. If you're not feeding that spiritual person,
Mm-hmm.
then everything else is just gonna kind of be, out of whack. But just focusing on overall wellness. And I love that the company that, I do my wellness business with, that they talk about total wellness. They talk about inner wellness, spiritual wellness, emotional wellness, physical wellness, financial wellness, and there are a couple of other more environmental. There are like 7 different parts of that wellness wheel, and it has been a game changer for me.
Have
Really
you seen it be a game changer for some of your clients who are educators, that they've, used this program, or they're working
Oh,
with?
yes. I have a few that are, not all. Like I said, this, is not only for educators, but I have several that have been able to take control of their health and wellness, and yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Great to hear that. Great to
Hmm.
hear that.
Yeah.
And I think I would say that it takes a lot of courage to take the leap of faith, because you know every one of us has a dream or ultimate dream to be somebody, to to have our names be out there. But the start is the hardest part.
Yes.
And you encouraging us and the viewers is I think we have to wait for the balance, because you're mentioning about all those 4 no wellnesses things. But and until that person is spiritually inclined to really start with the goal in mind, it will probably take years for that person. But just continue to to keep on praying for discernment, if it's really
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
discernment would is it really worth the risk. Because it's there are people out there who has the big dreams for themselves, but they still don't have the courage yet to
Right.
start right
Right.
now.
Right. And you
Yeah.
have to start with those small steps, because like you were just
Yes.
saying, we see a big picture, but if we just look at that
Correct.
picture, it can be very overwhelming. So as you just stated, just start, and you start small, and you take a step, and you take a step, and before you know it, you are getting closer to
Yes.
that dream and
Yes.
goal.
And ladies, that is so, y'all, I'm getting chills right now, because our last ladies Bible class was on discernment. And I mean, and it was amazing. And and I'm gonna let you all know this, that um as far as with Alabama, they have something called teams, and we actually get probably about, before tax, we get almost $2,000 extra a month, right?
Oh,
So,
wonderful.
but you have to be in the
Cool.
classroom.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you have to be in the classroom. And so that was enough, being a person that I'm trying to, get my financial situation straight, because when I retire, I want to retire with no debt. And
Hmm.
so
Correct.
I was like, oh Lord, I said I'm gonna have to, because math coaches don't get that, the teams pay. And
I
so
know.
Oh,
I was like, let me pray about this thing before.
oh, I see what you're saying. I was thinking when you went into the classroom, like on top of what you were doing, you were getting the pay. But you're saying that if you stay in the classroom as a teacher, is that what I'm
That's when you get the
understanding?
pay.
Oh, that's when you get the pay. Okay. Okay.
Right, but once you leave the classroom, you no longer qualify for
I
teams.
see.
So
Wow.
math coaches, they're working on it, but math coaches don't, because we're in the classroom, we're just not the teacher.
Right.
And so anyway, I was like, okay, Lord, let me pray about this thing, because I really was wanting to, get into a position where it's a little bit more flexible,
Correct.
and to be able to help in a larger capacity, but I didn't want to be an administrator. And
Mhm.
so I was like, okay, I gotta take a pay cut. But I'm telling you, and so I did it scared. I took that leap, and I was like, okay, babe. I told to my husband, sorry, y'all call my husband babe.
Oh, you're
That's
fine.
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 Like, okay, this is gonna be, a pay cut for us. And so he said, well, babe, he said, if this is what you want to do, he said, let's do it. He said, God will provide.
Mhm.
And God has been providing.
Yes, he does. He
And so
does.
I made the decision, last year. And so it took me about a couple of years, to be honest. it took me
Mhm.
a couple of years. And so last year, I just, I told my principal, I said, I really do love the classroom. This is has nothing to do with, you or whatever. This is a me decision. And so he was all on board, and so he was happy. He said, you'll be able to help, more teachers. He said, we hate to lose you, but you'll be able to help more teachers, more students on a larger
Right,
capacity.
right. Yep.
And my supervisor, she was supportive with that too. But I did it, and I'm loving it.
Mhm. Well, we are very glad that you shared that with us because we do know that sometimes finances can drive what we do in life. But if you're miserable with getting that money, sometimes it just to have a peace of mind. If you can, just go out on faith and just say, God, I know you're going to
Yes,
provide. I need a peace of mind. I need to do what I know is right. He is going to
yes,
sustain you. So I'm so glad
yes,
you brought that up.
yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
I remember I have a friend. She has been praying for this promotion. So she got that promotion. And then she was then complaining about like, oh, I am so stressed with my work. I am like this. I don't even have time. And then you mentioned about the money that she will not, the teachers will actually get extra more than being that, new promotion. So I told her, you know what? You be careful what you pray for. Because
Right,
you
right.
be
Hmm.
careful what you pray for, because you know what? God gave it to you because you prayed for it. And then because we are women of faith, we don't
Yes.
worry about, because God will provide. So the same thing happened to me. It's like, okay, I'm on this administration position, but then I'm looking at the bigger picture, because it's not just today. If we're looking at the picture where God leads us the way. So I
Mhm.
was like, I've been looking at the finances, like, oh, it's still okay. God is still there. God is still providing me. So I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just looking at the bigger picture, and I'm still praying as like, Lord, what is it that you want me to do?
Mhm.
And I'll go. So just
That's
trust
right.
the process. Just
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So as we start to close, we do want to ask if there is something that, well, I'm sorry, Dr. P, was there anything else you wanted to say before we start to close?
oh no. I
Okay,
wasn't
just
sharing
wanted
that
to make
part.
sure. Okay.
Amen.
Um, if there is a service or a particular product that you would like to share with the listeners and where they can find that, and then also telling them where they can find out more about you if you have an online presence somewhere.
I am on social media. I can send you like my links because I have different names on there. Like I got
Oh,
one is Illuminate Your Health, but I'm
okay.
on Facebook, and then I don't, it's not under my name.
Okay.
So like I'm on Facebook, I think it's First Lady Parker. And you might could find it like that on Instagram as well.
You,
So I have a little presence everywhere.
yeah.
But I'm more so on Facebook is, my platform that I post. And I know sometimes Facebook and Instagram you can post on one and it'll post on the
Show up on the,
other.
yes.
So right, right. I am on LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn as Erika
Yes, that's where we
Parker.
connected.
Right, that's right.
Yes.
Sure did, sure did, sure did,
Yes.
sure did.
Well, I'm gonna
So
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say you can send that to us, and when we upload the video to our YouTube channel, we'll put all those links there, and then we're gonna share it with you so you can put it on your social media.
okay, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I did copy it and emailed it to myself. I say, well, I may need to send it to Tiffany. So yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that won't be a problem at all.
Absolutely. Y'all may see me cut up a little bit, but I'm just having fun.
Oh
Oh,
no, we love
no,
it.
we love that. So is there
Absolutely.
So just want again saying thank you so much for taking the time to be on. You're our second podcast host, and I mean guest. I don't know why I always say host,
Oh,
guest. So
yes.
we're so happy to have you and to learn more about you and just to be able to continue to connect with you. We'll get back with you to just see how things are going as the year is going through. We know
Cool.
you say this was your first year, but we're going to continue to send prayers and just
Yes.
knowing that you're doing the very best and you're doing God's work. So, just
Absolutely.
thank you so
Absolutely.
much. for what
Absolutely.
you do each and every day for our teachers and our students.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you for
Uh-huh.
having us.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. P.